Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think we can start off with our meeting, meanwhile as other people join us. Today we want to take off some time to look at what structure should we be building, a structure that can be able to take us to director. And that same structure that we have built that takes us to director, being the same structure that can actually take us to Sapphire Director, that same structure that can be able to take us to Ruby Director. And of course, I am sharing from my personal experience, from my personal structure, I'll be using my own example on what structure did I start with when I joined the business. What structure did I start with? And then what structure that took the same structure that I started with that took me to director in 6 months, the same structure that was actually able to take me to Sapphire Director and one Ruby Director in a space of 1 year and 1 month. So that's the structure that I am actually going to be discussing. And what activities are we supposed to be doing with that structure so that we can be able to grow the structure? Because you realize that sponsoring alone does not actually, sponsoring without development does not give us the right kind of business that we want. Well, if you're sponsoring, you might be lucky and you find that one person who is self-driven that won't need you much. But even when they are starting off, when they're starting off their business, everyone will always need an upline. Everyone would always need a sponsor. Everyone would always need some guidance. Even those that are very brilliant, that are very self-driven, or what I would call the A players. They will need your guidance in the first 3 to 6 months. And then after that, they've been able to gain experience and skills. Then you can actually let them go and they can be able to build business on their own. So the topic of the day is the director structure, building a director structure that will take you to World Team, that will take you to Ruby Director. Now, when you get started in the business or when you make a decision to start on building your business, you know, there is a difference between joining the business and then there's a difference between building the business. There are quite a number of people who you find have joined the business, but they are not yet ready to build the business. So I'm speaking about people, the information I'm putting out is for people not who have just decided to join, but people who have also made up their mind to be able to build the business. Wow. My future downline is here. Okay. So let's look at what structure. When you decide, when you make up your mind and you decide and say, from today onward, I want to build a director size business. I want to build a Ruby size business. When you make that decision, what is the first step? Or what is the first thing that you want to do, that you have to do? The number one thing that you're going to have to do, it is to sponsor a number of people. You sponsor between 15 to 25 people personally within a space of 3 to 6 months. If you can sponsor them in the first 1 to 3 months, that's better. That's even better. But usually when you make that final decision and say, you know what, I want to come from where I am to a different level in this business, to a big level in this business, where I can earn at least 5, 6, 7, 8 million shillings a month. The very, very first step that you're going to do is you're going to have to work so hard with your list of names to make sure that you recruit or to make sure that you bring on board between 15 to 25 people in a space of 3 to 6 months. Now, like I said, I'll be using much of my personal story. When I joined in the business, I actually joined and also started doing the business. Like I mentioned, there are people who join the business, but not ready to do the business. Me, I joined the business and I was ready to do the business. And what did I do to become a director in 6 months? Number one, in my first month, I sponsored 6 people. Second month, I sponsored 5 people. Third month, I did a 3 in 30. Sponsored 3 people. Fourth month, I sponsored 5 people, then 2 people, then 1 person. If you can do your math quite well, you realize that in a space of 5 months, I actually sponsored over 20 people. And because I sponsored over 20 people, all of them, as the people that I sponsored, I got some who were ready to build the business immediately. And when these people, the people out of the 6 plus 5, that's 11, plus 4, that's 15, plus 3, that's 18, and then plus 4, that's about 22. So 22 people in a space of 5 months. So out of the 22 people in a space of 5 months, I actually got, I think there were actually 5 people that were ready to build the business. And then I taught them to do exactly what I had done. I taught them to do the 3 in 30s. I taught them to sponsor 5, 6 people. And because they were doing that, as they were doing that, they were becoming managers. They were becoming senior managers. By then, there was no executive manager level. So they became, so you'd come from distributor manager, senior manager, then do your accumulation and become a director. So when these 5 people, out of the 22 people that I sponsored, when these 5 people who were ready to build the business, when they became managers and senior managers, that is actually how I ended up becoming a director in only 6 months of doing the business. Now, that is the first step. The first step, you make up your mind and you say, I want to build this business. First step, we've said it is sponsoring over between 15 to 25 people in a space of 3 to 6 months. Then after you've been able to that, it is to identify those that are ready, not those that just joined, but those that are ready to build the business. By the way, there is also an advantage that people who just join the business can also lead you to someone who is ready to build the business. So once you've been able to identify these that are ready to build the business, there is a lot that you have to do with them. Now, the habit of bringing people on board, but then not give them support, not work with them, it does not work. It does not get you anywhere. It does not help these people to grow in the business. In fact, When you just sponsor people and you don't give them time to be able to mentor them, to grow them, you are like someone who has gone to the bush, who has prepared a garden and has been able to plant maize, and then without doing anything, this farmer is expecting to come after 3-4 months to come and harvest. Of course, you're not going to harvest anything. So when you sponsor a distributor who is ready to build the business, you need to teach them. Teach them. What are you supposed to teach them? Teach them how to make money. Because the only way to motivate a distributor about the new life business is when you help that distributor to make money. When you don't help them to make money, then they are demotivated, and then they even cannot stay around. The only way to get people to stay around, the only way to get people to stay in the business and love the business and enjoy the business, help them make money. So your top priority when someone joins your business, your top priority is to help them to make money. And better if you identify 1, 2, 3, 6 people. There is a reason. There is a reason as to why we talk about 6 people. Now, 6 people, remember we are getting 6 serious people from the 15 to 25 people that we have sponsored into the business, because not every person you're going to sponsor into the business actually becomes serious about the business. Others join and they stop at joining. I've even sponsored some people into the business. They paid money, they joined, they even never picked their bags. That also happens. So the reason as to why I'm saying that when you finally make up your mind to grow this business, sponsor between 15 to 25 people, is because out of those 15 to 25 people, you are going to get those that are serious. 6 of them that are serious. When you hope the 6 to become managers, to also start sponsoring, because if these people are going to grow, they also need to do what you have done. What have you done? In the space of 3 to 6 months, you have sponsored between 15 to 25 people. So even these people that have joined that are very serious, you must help them to sponsor between 15 to 30 people in their first 3 to 6 months, so that they also identify their 6 people. As they are doing that, as you're helping them and guiding them and helping them to teach them how to do one-on-ones, teach them how to make phone calls, teach them how to make appointments, teach them how to follow up, teach them how to present, teach them how to close a prospect, teach them how to get a customer. As you're teaching them all these skills, they are learning, they are growing. And as they grow to manager, you are growing to senior manager. As they grow to senior manager, you are growing to executive manager. As they grow to executive manager, 1, 2, 3 people, they have grown to executive manager. Then 1, 2, 3 people, they've grown to senior manager. Then other 3 have grown into managers. You become a solid director who can even earn up to an average of 5 million shillings a month. By the way, you can be a director who earns 1.8 million. You can be a director who earns 3 million. You can be a director who earns 5 million shillings a month. It all comes back to how many people you've been able to bring into the business by yourself. If you bring only fewer people, your income will always be small. If you bring very many people around you, your income will be very big. And that's actually why we always say that even when you've been able to build this director structure, a director structure is a structure that has 6 personally sponsored, very serious, committed A players. People who want to make the money, people who want to grow. That is a solid director structure. But even when you have a solid director structure, you must keep on sponsoring. You must keep on doing 3 in 30s every single month. Why do you keep on doing a 3 in 30 every single month? So that your business keeps on growing every single month. Some of us stagnated in this business at some level because when we became directors, when we became wealthy members, we stopped sponsoring. But if we had kept on sponsoring, doing 3 in 30s every single month, we would be times 2, times 3, times 4 of where we are today. So once you have your director structure of 6 solid people, continue doing your 3 in 30s every month, continue sponsoring. And the process of growing this business, it is you sponsor people, you equip them, you train them, you introduce them into the business, you show them practically how the business works. So it is sponsor, equip, and let go. Sponsor, equip, and keep in touch. Keep on following them up. Keep on following their progress. Keep on following to make sure that they are growing. So how is the best way to work with people that you have sponsored into the business, that want to build the business, that want to make money? How is the best way to work with people who are serious that want to grow this business? How is the best way? Simply help them make money. The best way to motivate a distributor who has joined the business and they want to grow the business, help them make money. Teach them how to make the profit. Teach them how to make the phone calls. Teach them how to do product demonstrations. Go with them and meet with them, their customers. Do that. When you do that, when you show them how to make money, show them how to become a manager, show them how to become a senior manager, show them how to become an executive manager, and they start earning an average of 1.2 million shillings as an executive manager. When you show them, they are going to surprise you. They are going to build a great business. And when a distributor is making money in the business, then they will never leave you. They will keep on doing more business. And our business, by the way, is quite interesting. In our business, you only make money when you have brought people that are making money. When you bring people, they are not making money, you don't make money. That's why I always love telling people that when someone joins your business, it doesn't help you. It only helps you. You only make money when you help them make money. Now, why this structure? But remember, to have this structure, you must have sponsored between 15 to 25 people within a space of 3 to 6 months. By the way, why do I say 3 to 6 months? Like I said, I am using my own personal experience, my own example. Now, from my experience, this habit of sponsoring one person this month, then you take 2 months and you sponsor 2 people. You take 3 months without sponsoring and you bring 1 person. And then you take another 3 months without sponsoring and you bring 3 people. I have not seen any single person that has been able to grow in a new life by sponsoring that way. The only people that I have seen that have received massive success, and you find that in their first 2 years, they are earning an average of 5 to 10 million shillings a month. They are people, when they join and decide to build the business, they recruit very many people personally in their first month. They recruit very many people personally in their first month. So this same structure, when you recruit between 15 to 25 people and you identify 6 people, when you become a director, When you become a director, remember there is this 1, 2, 3 executive managers. They will be following your footsteps. They will also become directors. When they become directors, guess what what's going to happen? You are going to become a world team member. That's the same exact thing that happened to me. When I joined the business, I had 6 strong legs. The people we bring into the business, we call them legs. As you grow in the business, you'll be hearing these terms being used over and over again. They'll be talking about depth, width, legs. Now, when I joined the business, I had 6 strong legs. And from my 6 strong legs, when I became a director, 3 of my strong legs also decided to become directors. That is why when I joined, in my 13th month, I was taking my steps to Sapphire Director. As I was becoming a Sapphire Director, I made a first step to Sapphire Director. By the time I was making second step to Sapphire Director, I was making first step to 1Ruby. By the time I was concluding my Sapphire Director step, I was actually making my second step to 1Ruby. And then the following month, I actually became a 1Ruby Director, while I was making a step to 2Ruby Director. So it all comes back to the people that you have been able to sponsor. So the more people that you sponsor around you, the bigger the business that you're going to have. And the bigger the business, the bigger the money, the more the excitement, the bigger the travels. So let us go ahead and sponsor. So if you are on this call, and you have said, you know what, enough is enough, and it doesn't matter which level you are at, whether you are a distributor, whether you are a manager, whether you are a senior manager, whether you are a director or world team, even me myself, if you have gotten to a point whereby you have said, enough is enough, I want my business to explode, your first step is going to be to sponsor between 15 to 25 people in the next 3 to 6 months. Once you have been able to do that, you are going to identify 6 people. And then after you have identified those 6 people, not one person, but 6 people. After you have identified those 6 people, you are going to give it your best. You teach them every skill that you know. You teach them everything that you know about the business. You move with them. When you have a presentation in Kayunga, you go with them. When you have a presentation in Iganga, you go with them, so that they can practically see you build the business, so that they can practically learn from you, hands-on experience from what you're doing. When they do that, when you do that, then you are going to build a successful business. So you want to build a business. You have decided, you have reached a moment whereby you say, enough is enough. I want to have a very successful near-life business. I want to travel. I want to experience life. I want to enjoy all the benefits of this business. Make a decision and bring on board between 15 to 25 people in a space of 3 to 6 months. I am saying that because that's what I did. I am not telling you what I did not do. And I'm telling you what I am actually working on, because I am completely tired of where I am. I want to make a change. I want to grow. I want to get to another level. So my first step is going to do that. Then after I have sponsored between 15 to 25 people, my next step is going to be to help these 6 people to make money. Because the best way to motivate someone in this business, the best way to motivate someone is help them make money. The best way to keep someone around is help them make money. The best way to excite someone in this business is help them make money. The best way to grow your team is have a team that is making money. When you have a team that is making money, you are good to go. You will enjoy the business. Your growth is unlimited. And in fact, what is most interesting about the New Life business is that the more people we help make money, the more money you are going to earn. Look at people like Charlie Bolton. These are guys that are earning checks of over 300,000. These are 300,000 US dollars. These are guys that I have seen that are holding checks of $350,000. By the $350,000, we are speaking about over 1 billion shillings as a commission paid out to a distributor. But the question is, why would Charlie walk away with a commission of 350,000 over 1 billion shillings? It is simply because Charlie Bolton has a very, very big team. Charlie Bolton has a very, very big business. Charlie Bolton has very many people on his team that are making money and not making small monies, not making just profits. They are getting big commissions. So the more people we are able to hope and big commissions on our teams, the more money we are going to earn. I mean, what does it take to become a president's team member? To become a president's team member, you need to have 1, 2, 3, 6 people that you have sponsored personally, and all of them are earning an average of 5 to 10 million shillings a month. If you did not know what it takes to become a president's team member, to become a president's team member, you have 1, 2, 3, 6 people that you have introduced into the business and you have worked with. And all of them, they are earning an average of 5 to 10 million shillings a month. That is how you become a president's team member. So that should also paint the picture and let you know that the only way to grow our business is by helping as many people as possible to make money. The more money they make, the more money you make. The more they grow, the more you grow. The bigger that, the more they're excited, the more money you are able to earn and make. So ladies and gentlemen, let us make it our mission. Let's make it our mission to work on our structures. Let us make it a mission to make a decision that we want to succeed in this business. Because most of us, we are where we are because we have not yet decided. When we decide to grow, then our businesses are going to grow. We need to make a decision. Then when we make a decision, we need to look for these 20 people. We need to look for this between 15 to 20 people personally in the shortest possible time. And then when we have done that, let us make it our mission to help these guys to make money. And interestingly, when you sponsor someone who is very serious in the business and they want to grow and they want to make money, usually if they don't make money in their first 3 to 6 months, if they don't make some money and don't see hope of them making money, they actually quit. they quit the business. It takes, usually when you sponsor someone and they've told you they want to make money, in their first 3 to 6 months, you must help them to earn 1 million shillings. Then there you can retain them. If you don't help them make 1 million shillings in their first 1 to 3, in their first 3 to 6 months, you will lose them. So help people make money. Let's make it our mission. Is it possible? Yes, it is very possible. Why is it possible? Because we have done it. Why is it possible? Because many people have done it. Why is it possible? Because very many people are doing it. So if very many people can do it, you too can be able to do it as well. If many people can succeed in this business, you too can succeed in this business. And look, when you have the 6 people that I've talked about that help you to get to director, that becomes the foundation of your business. That becomes the foundation of your business. So for you to continue growing, that's why I told you, never stop sponsoring. Because remember, the goal is to become a 5-diamond director. And to become a 5-diamond director, you need to have 18 legs. How do you get the 18 legs? Continue sponsoring. Continue sponsoring, never stop sponsoring. That's why we always learn to say that actually sponsoring is the business. Sponsoring is the business. Sponsoring is the backbone of our business. If you're not sponsoring, then you're not building the business. Sponsoring. Never stop sponsoring. Keep on sponsoring. Sponsor, develop. Sponsor, develop. Sponsor, help make money. Make it a priority to help people make money. When we do that, we will grow. There won't be any options apart from us growing, apart from us enjoying the money. I mean, right now, we're just counting down the days. We have exactly about 30, we have, I think, about 33 days because our flight is on the 19th of May. We are going to Cape Town, South Africa for holiday, to enjoy lifestyle, to eat life with a big spoon. How can you be able to do this? It is actually by sponsoring and developing a team. Thank you so much for listening to me. Have a blessed evening.